Hey, Royal Rough Riders. This is Mademoiselle Mosley again. I hope everybody is doing fine tonight. You know what I thought about? We got to get to the point where we're no longer getting upset about things that we've already gotten upset about. Like we're expecting someone to change because they know that it bothers us. Sometimes that's the more people don't change because they know it bothers you. That's the weirdest thing ever, but it's true. It comes along with a lot of other things, maybe maturation. A lot of people you would be surprised that are not mature. They're walking around 40, 50 years old, 60, 70, and still not mature. But when you've been through trauma and you get to the point, or you're at the point where you are no longer passing it around, your healing has begun. That's when you know your healing has begun, when you're no longer passing it around because you recognize it. You understand it, that as long as you give it the attention that you usually give to it, it's going to constantly come up to distract you from growing and being who you're supposed to be. See, the thing about it is, what I learned too is that you have to contain it before you can tame it. You got to be able to contain it, before you can tame it. Put it in a box and watch the way that it moves, watch the way that it does so that you can get past being pulled in to their devices and keep on going around and say, oh, I promise I won't do it again. Oh, yeah, I know I said it before, but you know how I feel about you know I love you. No, love don't do all that extra foolishness. But so, anyway, you have to contain it before you can tame it. Then you have to realize how it got in. You have to pinpoint how long it's been in there. And then you have to figure out how to get it out. That's why I say it's a lot of things that we need to figure out about ourselves while we're trying to cause controversy or problems with somebody else. We have so many things that we could be concentrating on our lives in a positive aspect instead of, not liking someone because they might be where we at and causing them negative uh, situations. It's a waste of time. See, once you figure out how it got in, and then you're gonna pinpoint how long it's been in, and often you'll be able to get out because you figure out how to. Then you have to figure out how to keep it out. See, it's like this: once you stop smoking, don't mean you won't start smoking again. I think most people start smoking again because maybe it wasn't a long enough period before they started smoking, so they've always done it, so it's habitual, or because whatever they're going through in life, the cigarette helps release, they think it helps release some anxiety or whatever it is that they're going through, so they use it like a crutch. They use it as a crutch. But the thing about like everything that we go through behind what we went through is to kill, steal, and destroy. See, when the Word of God says kill, steal, and destroy, oftentimes we think about other people or other entities. Sometimes it be you stealing and killing from yourself. And I'm not necessarily saying, physically doing something to yourself. It's just that, you could be killing your dreams. You can be stealing other people's dreams. It's all kind of things that can work out to cause an effect on people. And a lot of our attachments, see, once we figure out how to keep it out and we get rid of everything that has attached itself to us, because as we go through our traumas, a lot of things that attach us that we don't even see as an attachment because we don't realize it's an attachment, but it attaches itself to us. And what it does is through sedating us, you know, putting us to sleep, so we feel like this is the antidote. It puts us to sleep. It calms us down, but yet we still got that problem around. So, and all the things, like I said, was attached to you that's sedating you. And when you come to yourself, like when you come to knowing yourself and all those attachments are affecting your health, that's what it's like I said earlier, that's what happened. It often still kills and destroys all them attachments. Yeah, you're not thinking about what happened anymore, but then you got a habit that keep you from thinking about what happened. But the thing about it is when you get up in the morning and your mind is there again, so you're going to do it over and over again, whether it's happening in the physical over and over again. You have locked it up in your mind and kept it to safe, that's causing you to be unsafe. But see, a lot of these spirits got to get you while you're young. If you think about it, when you don't know who you are, when you don't understand your value, you know, there's a lot of those spirits attach themselves to you to make you think that, you know, make you think that that person that you are now was always who you were. No, you were not always that person. You have been in it so long in that wrong till within yourself it's right within your life. And that's not right. So it got you before you knew you. Now we have to now we have to get you back to the authentic you. I think a lot of people don't realize that they're not authentically themselves. You know, they be trying to please everybody else, trying to make everybody laugh, trying to make everybody think that they this and that. That's not, who you are. You know, you got to get back to the authentic you before all the abuse. The authentic you was before all the abuse started. So you can start to live in your truth before the trauma. I think a lot of us don't live in the truth of before our trauma. You know, because a lot of times we're so young, we can't really go back in our minds and think about who we were before the trauma, because we had no idea, because a lot of us was so young. So the thing about it is, when the trauma happened, it actually created a fake version of who you truly are, because the trauma changed the trajectory of the way you see life, or the way that your life go according to you, or if you had someone to talk to help you get through. A lot of us didn't have a lot of people to talk to, because a lot of people don't want to deal with trauma. They just don't want to. You know, that happened 20 years ago. I'm not saying that you have to go back in and be emotional for 20 years ago. I am just saying, if it is affecting your relationships right now and something that happened 20 years ago, you need to deal with that. It is very important that you deal with it. So I hope that helped y'all. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for all the donations. I really appreciate you. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. And if you would like more, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get it before it gets you. I'm out.